Hello everyone, this is Mike Borgenis from Overstory Analytics. As you've probably seen, we rebranded. We're still part of Southern Forestry. Um, Today, short video to show how to do inventory data quality assurance. A lot of people ask about this, wonder how to do it, and there's some really great tools in ArcGIS and in Prism to make sure that your data quality is where you expect it to be, and to do it quick before cruisers potentially leave the area, so you don't end up having to send them back from somewhere else if there's something they have to recheck on a plot. So without further ado, I'll jump right in here and I'll start with ArcGIS Pro. You will need an ArcGIS Pro standard license if you're going to do edits, like some of the edits I'm showing. However, you can use some other ArcGIS tools to do this same thing. You just won't be able to do them in a batch fashion here in the Prism data model, because the Prism data model has relationship classes. So I've got a couple of error checks that I want to do to look at conditions on trees that are unacceptable and we want cruisers to fix. The best thing to do is to catch this quickly while cruisers are still working in the area and those plots are fresh in their memory. And that way you can let them fix them. They can resync their devices, and you can get a really tight inventory data set that's going to be suitable for inventory volume estimation, basal area, and other more advanced things like growth and yield. So I'm going to jump right in here, and I've got a query here for looking for missing heights on certain trees, particularly merchantable trees. So if I run this query in ArcGIS Pro, and you can save these queries to save yourself some time, but that's kind of a GIS topic we won't get into too deeply. You can see right here we've got a tree that has no height, okay, and it's a pulpwood tree, and it should. So basically, somebody ignored the error warning and the Prism Mobile, and they didn't put this value in. So what we do here, and this is where it gets kind of interesting and helpful, is we go ahead and we flag that plot so that it pops out on the map. And we have a condition here, audited warnings, which will make the plot orange colored, and give a note to the cruiser. Okay, so there's one error condition, and so next time the cruiser syncs their mobile device, they're going to see this, and you might have to kind of let them know either with a text message or email or a phone call or something like that. We'll do a couple more. Now, if I had a whole bunch of those plots to do that on, we'd calculate all this at once and do it really quick, but that was just one tree. So I have another error condition to check, and that is trees that are called as a product chip and saw, but their DBH is over the chip and saw specification. Let's run that query. And you can see here I've got a couple results returned. I've got a couple trees over 13.6 dBH, which are called chip and saw, which is not appropriate. So I want to have the cruiser fix those as well. So you have to select the related plots. And we've got those plots isolated. And let's put those as audit warnings. I could do a field calculator here, but I've only got a couple trees. A tree is too large to be CNS tree. All right. We'll copy paste that in there. I think that's good for to get the concept across. You can have anything in here. Chip and saw trees are too small. Saw timber trees, missing data values. You've got some tools in Prism already to catch missing data values, so you don't get a lot of that. It's more the between data logic, like where two things exist together that you have to do this kind of error checking for, because it's a little more involved. But you just query the stuff, save your changes in Pro, of course. Okay, and so then what we can do, I'm going to show one other aspect of this. You can monitor this process in a dashboard as well. Now right now, until I refresh this dashboard, there's a list over here that will show any errors that exist on the project. There's nothing here right now because there are no errors. But if I refresh this guy, those error messages that I just created should pop in, okay? And they can be zoomed too. Okay, you can highlight these guys. So you could give the crews team, like these dashboards will work on iPads. You can give the crews team a dashboard like this, or you can just kind of use it to make sure that all these issues are being reconciled. So let's go to that next. How do you reconcile the issues? So look at this project and that big cluster up there. Let me get the iPad showing. Okay, so if we show the iPad, let's see from the cruiser side, these plots. Color's showing a little bit different there. If I go in here as a cruiser and I see those plots popping right up off the map, and I see the audit warning, and I see the comments in here, the problem, okay? So as a cruiser, what I can do is I can go in here, take out the comment, change the plot status back to completed, because I'm going to fix this error. So where is this chip and saw is too big, or a tree too big to be chip and saw? He should be a saw timber. You know, maybe I go back to the plot. Maybe I just was at that plot and I kind of know what's going on, and I know that I just made a typo there. And so let's go ahead and fix one of these other ones. And this way, your data fixes are right in the hands of the people that are doing the data collection. We got another tree that's too large to be a chip and saw. Let's see, which one's that? Right there. Definitely too big. 16.3, right? Don't want anything above 13.6. So that iPad is technically going to be operating offline for folks, so you have to synchronize. And we'll give that just a second. So we come back to the dashboard here, and before we refresh, we see those plots, and there's those chip and saw trees flagged as having issues. We hit the refresh button on this guy. Okay, those two chip and saw trees, the cruiser fixed them, the plots changed back to green, and the errors are out of this list over here. So that's pretty straightforward. And I think, you know, on these projects, we do quite a bit of them, support quite a few people doing large inventories. If you stay on top of this, know all the data things you want to look for. It might be site index trees. It might be making sure all no tally plots are, you know, marked properly, all those kinds of things. You can have 10 or 12 checks. You can save those queries, run them in ArcGIS Pro, push notices back out to the cruisers, let them fix them, and be right on top of that, and do that probably on a minimum on a weekly basis. So that's my quick tip for today, and I appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next time.